again, everyone. I'm in Mexico. I was very happy to be back home in the US, but I couldn't stay there as I was forever. When I say as I was, I mainly mean I couldn't stay there and not be working. I needed to plan what my next move was. This trip that Jonathan and I took was supposed to be a year long. It didn't end up being a year long, it ended up being 4.5 months long, but I feel like I still have that time to decide what I'm going to do next. I don't necessarily feel like I need all of it, but I did know that right now I wanted to come back down to Mexico. In fact, Mexico was part of the reason that I had aspirations to travel, because of my experience here. I am in a small, rural pueblo. It's basically a small farming town. It's not big at all, although I couldn't give you numbers or geographic size, but I will say that basically everybody knows everyone in this town, and there's a lot of gossip here. I don't think gossip is entirely inappropriate in a pueblo like this. I think that it's good that everybody knows about everybody else, as long as what's being said is truthful and not malicious, which, well, I can't speak to that, but the lifestyle here is very, very different. It's very different from the US, and it's very, very different from what I experienced overseas as well. In a lot of aspects, I would say it's superior. One thing that I would say to start is that there is not a single traffic light here in this town. In fact, there's really only one major street that kind of runs through the middle of the town. The majority of the population is enclosed in a space of, I don't want to say enclosed like they're trapped, but they're located within a space of, I don't know, 10 blocks by 10 blocks, something like that, 10 by 20 maybe if it goes a little wider east to west. It's not big at all, and you could walk from one corner of the main populated area of the town to another, and then on the outskirts you start to get very rural, very widely spaced ranches, basically, because this is a farming town, as I may have said. Another thing that's really nice is that because of how small the town is, everything is in walking distance, and a lot is within very, very short walking distance. So, for example, we don't keep a lot of butter and eggs in the fridge here, because if we run out or if we run low, it's a very, very short walk to less than 2 blocks to they're called supermarkets. They're not what I would consider a supermarket as a US native, but markets nevertheless, where you can buy the butter and the eggs and all those other things. So I would say that this pueblo is free it's free from many of the afflictions of modernity that I detest, like population density and busyness and a lot of traffic and things like that. I will say though, the noise levels here are not great. There are not a lot of strict laws as to, what would you call those, peacekeeping laws? There's not a lot of laws about what sort of noise making is prohibited, and so there are a lot of people making noise, particularly at night and in the morning, that are really, really bothersome. If I get the chance, I will try to record the sound made by a company that sells propane tanks. They literally drive around in a truck and they sound a very obnoxious horn at pretty much all hours of the day. I don't think they do it at night really, but they start fairly early in the morning, and I just think, why didn't the people of this town kill them? I mean, it's super annoying, and to let them get away with it just for their financial interests is maddening and absurd to me. It offends my sensibilities. I mean, Christ, it's propane. The demand for propane is fairly inelastic, so no sense in pushing it too hard, but I guess they want to beat their competitors, so. And then there's just some delinquents that like to drive around at night with the music really, really loud, and so that gets annoying too. And sometimes I hear some animals from my window quite loudly in the middle of the night, and that is also interesting. So there's the non-obligatory complaining, but yeah, this town is beautiful to me, and in a lot of ways feels like it hasn't changed in 50 years or something like that. I mean, maybe 100 years. I don't know. It's weird, right? Because I do have Wi-Fi here, and even if I didn't have Wi-Fi, there is data. There's cell data to be received here. So there are cars. There are something resembling supermarkets. There are small businesses, gyms. So there are a lot of facets of modern life, but the way the town is built overall seems like it could come out of the late 1800s. If my impression of the late 1800s is at all accurate, which it probably is not. I have a lot of family here. I'm spending time with a lot of them. My lifestyle right now mainly consists of going to the gym every day with my cousin. She is as enthusiastic about diet and exercise as I am, maybe. She's currently on a ketogenic diet. I'm very proud of her for that. I am straight up bragging right now, if you can't tell. And so we walk about 15 minutes to the gym. I go pick her up at about 12 o'clock, and we walk about 15 minutes to the gym, and we do our workout about an hour. I'm mostly focused on cardio right now, but I do a little bit of weightlifting too. And that's kind of my main priority every day. I'm back to eating 8 eggs every morning and more meat in the evening. Everything after that is kind of variable. I might go see, I have family from my mother's side and my father's side here, and I see quite a bit of both of them, different family members and different days, and some days I don't see any of them. Some days I just stay inside, and that's fine. I've got my laptop here, so I'm staying pretty well entertained. I'm certainly not bored around here, and I'm just really appreciating the pace of life here right now. So I think I'll be here for about another month, and then we'll see what's next. Take care.